I'm Mia.
Mia.
Uh-huh.
Hey, my name is Claire and I own the house.
Oh, great. I sent you a letter.
I don't have a letter.
Yeah, I thought it got circumvented. Hold on one
What do you mean
second.
circumvented? Do you have my address?
Yeah, I went to the tax assessor's office
Okay.
and found it. Because I was looking for you about maybe 5 weeks after I moved here.
Okay. Never saw a letter.
Okay, so do you know what has been going on?
No, tell me.
Okay.
I know that that the tenant has terminated tenancy and is as of the end of the month. That's what I know.
Okay. Well,
And I see that his stuff is not all out.
yeah, he rented to me.
Actually, he can't rent to you.
Well, he did.
He brought you in as a roommate. My understanding is.
So what I got from him was not a full story when I moved in.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got a whole bunch of creepy and illegal behaviors to the point where I've had to call the police 9 times and the DA's office. And the police had me install cameras. So the crimes are on camera. And so I've been looking for a new place since the first physical attack.
I'm sorry. Since how long?
Now I guess it's 3 weeks.
So you're looking for a new place, and
Yeah.
you've been looking for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I'm going to be moving as soon as I get my new place.
Okay.
I did not know things like, do you know he turned the power off? Okay, so.
I own the place.
Okay.
I get rent from, and until somebody tells me otherwise.
No, I'm so glad to see you because I
Okay.
wrote to you and
I never
literally went.
Was the address in Pacifica?
I think so.
Well, okay.
It was on, so what I had once,
Do you have a copy of the letter?
yeah.
Okay,
And
why don't you
once,
just give it to me? So I
yeah,
can-
so I'll email it to you.
Well, you can hand it to me.
I can't hand it to you because I learned from the police that Adam was going through all of my stuff and taking what he wanted and breaking stuff and just trying to be intimidating.
Between you and him, I don't want to intervene.
That's fine. That's fine
But
because
I do want. I want to know what's going
yeah.
on.
So
if there's a problem.
essentially, it was levels, like I said, creepiness and craziness. So I'll start with the 4th time he turned the power
You
off.
want to have a seat somewhere? I don't know.
Or you want to sit upstairs? We could sit up.
Yeah,
but
that's fine.
There's, oh,
Here,
you
let
know
me just
what?
close this. The garden is supposed to be coming on Friday, so I wanted to have a look and see. He usually lets us know when he'll be here, and I'm not able to. I don't meet him regularly, but I do check regularly.
Yeah.
He says, well, something needs to be done.
Yeah, and so
As far
I,
as I figured I should look and see if something needs to be done.
and you know, and I didn't know you existed for a while. Like I
exist.
even have, I'm glad. I was so glad to find that out because before then, it was presented to me that it was Adam and his parents. And then he even sent me a text that said, my parents' lawyer will send you your lease. And
His parents' lawyer, nobody can send you a lease.
yes,
because
that's why I found all that
now,
out.
But the thing of it is though, Adam is 19. He's a kid, okay? I don't even use leases. I use rental agreements month to month for a lot of reasons. But anyway.
Yeah, so so once I found out that
Yeah.
none of that was true because it wasn't coming and time was
Yeah.
passing
Yeah.
and he was doing things like he took power tools, because I remember there's no furniture upstairs. He took the power tools and disabled the power box. But the first time he did it, it was like progressively worsening just on a mental issue. So the first time he turned off the power, but he'd gone through, and I didn't know the switches have dimmer sliders because it didn't have like a dial, right? So I didn't even realize there were dimmers. But every time I flipped a switch, no lights would come on because he'd gone through the house and slid them all down. And then he got no response from that. In addition to breaking my things, he got no response from that. Like, no negativity, no anger, no fear. And then, so 2 days later, he turned the power off at the breaker. But by then, the police already had me put cameras in the house from the other stuff that he was doing to me. And the cameras were catching the crimes. And so I called the police because I was like, you guys, I'm downtown, I have appointments, and all the cameras are offline. And I said, I called the company, and they said the only way that can happen, if the whole grid's not out, is the power to the house is out. So they said, okay, come by when you're going home. And then they escorted me, like, because, they didn't want to drive up with me in the police car. So we met a block away, and then they came in and they checked the house, and they found that he hit the breaker box and turned off the switches. So that was the third time. The fourth time, which was a day and a half later, I was home. It was nightfall. I had my laptop out. I noticed my cell phone was at 1%. I turned to plug it up, and my entire room went pitch black. And when I looked outside, everyone else had lights, and our street had lights. And then it was so just absurdly wrong, we'll put it that way, because where my bedroom is, the gap between the door and the floor is about 2 inches. And there was a giant strip of light. So I knew the rest of the house was lit up. He'd only turned off the power to my room. And so my first thought, like...
Usually when that happens, first thing you want to do is you want to look at the what do you call them? Wait a second. They're not fuses, they're circuit breakers.
Yeah, so
And
that...
you just go, and you look down, you go, well, you'll see one of them's off, one of them's off. It's not a power off, it's like a light switch.
So here's what it turned out, and this is what's at the DA's office right now. When I looked and I saw that strip of light, Adam's feet appeared, and he stood there for 40 minutes while the police came. And once the police came, they flipped the breaker box, but it wouldn't come on. And he told them, this time I made sure only I can turn her power on. So they took...
By doing what?
What he did was he took a screwdriver and some other tool, went in here and removed the wires from the city just to my room. They then gave him an arrest citation and said, you have to stop doing this kind of stuff to her. And he said, oh, well, she has nobody. I can do what I want. And yes. So they gave him the paper. They came to me. This is all on the house cameras, right? And they're going, oh my God, he's crazy. He's crazy. And I was like, I told you he was crazy from what he said to me on the first day that he attacked me, right?
When you say he attacked, what do you
He
mean by
physically attacked me.
Did he touch you?
Yeah, he touched me and said, you can't pray here. God's not real.
I'm sorry?
Yeah.
That sounds...
Okay, I'm just saying the things that I have been...
I don't know him well. I know his mom.
I didn't know him well either.
Yeah.
But I thought, he was a student and he's going to my school and they're trying to get me there, and right? So I thought, I thought it was a good match.
You go to...
So San Francisco State has an OLLI program.
What is an OLLI program?
OLLI is like older students like me. I have 8 university degrees and credentials. 4 of them came from San Francisco State. So they're always glad to have us either come back as professors, depending on what we've been doing in the world, or be in the OLLI program. So I thought that was going to work until the levels of weirdness, like he and his friends out in the backyard doing drugs. And
he's doing drugs?
And his neighbor.
Are you sure?
The neighbors told me, because they were like,
Which neighbors?
The one next door, Courtney.
That side? I don't know them.
Yeah, me either. But this is what I found out. She asked me one day when I was coming in, are you an Airbnb? And I said, no, we're not an Airbnb. And she said, do you live here? And I said, yeah, I live here. Just me and Adam, the 2 of us live here. And she said, no, I see them in the backyard.
Them who?
And it turned out 6 or 7 people. But when she described them, I knew she wasn't lying because Adam had introduced me to those same people. Like the kind of kids that, like, put a dark on their eyes or wear jewelry of fangs and stuff. Yeah, I took their picture. So I spent so many years being a profiler. I don't say anything I can't prove in writing or on a camera or a document.
Well, this is
right?
all very interesting.
Yeah, so
But
it
the
was
bottom
crazy.
line, bottom line is, whatever happened, at the end of the month, he's bye-bye.
Yeah.
I mean, he's bye-bye kind of anyway, but
Yeah, because
but
he kept doing-
his father's crap is
His
still here.
yeah, but his dad's been coming in a van. That's because every time he came, he would do another physical attack or destroy my stuff. He was doing that the entire time he was living here, and that's why the police and the DA's office had to be called. So the things that I have on camera would probably be shocking, kind of like when the neighbors told me that. When she said that, I was like, oh my goodness, because he introduced me to those people, and they do all look like that. So she did not make it up, and it is his style of jewelry, and it is the style of jewelry and hair color and
I've
stuff.
never seen Adam wearing any jewelry. Because I don't pay that much attention, but
Yeah,
he looks pretty normal when I see him. But it's
yeah. Well,
occasional.
so once that took place, then he had been saying to the police, oh, well, maybe, right? And then when they did that, he goes, my mom's white. She's going to make sure I don't get in trouble for
I'm
this.
sorry.
Yes. Okay. So that's the level of absurdity that I've been living with on a daily basis, to the point where the police, gave him the paperwork.
Tell you what, rather than, you don't have to fax it. I can just take a picture of the copy of the letter with my camera. That's good enough.
You can't, because it's in my laptop.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. But I can also send you a picture of the day and time when I went and got your address from the county assessors, because
Okay. No,
I
it's
sent.
a public record.
Yeah, no. You know what it is? I sent you a letter, and then Adam talked to me about the letter. So that's why I
How
knew
does he know?
I had.
I never got the letter.
I know you didn't. I know you didn't. This is how I knew you didn't get the first letter, which is
And
why.
how would he have intervened?
Because I sent the letter through an agency that said they researched the owner, and they sent the letter to the owner.
Okay.
For the right, but you didn't get the letter.
Correct.
Right. This is how I know you didn't
Yeah,
get the letter.
yeah.
I know you didn't get the letter because Adam talked about what was in the letter. So that's how I knew
So
he'd
Adam,
gotten it.
How could he have gotten
I think they mailed it.
Oh,
You see? I think they
I
mailed
see.
it. So that's
so what
why.
they did was they sent whatever it is to this address, saying, okay, she's the owner, this must be her address.
Right.
It ain't my address.
Exactly. So that's why I upped the game
Okay.
and said, okay, if I was working as a profiler and I needed to stop this person, what would I do? Right? And so I said, tax records, county assessor, right?
All you have
And
to do is as good as he is.
and I went to all those offices
All of
until
that's simple.
I found it. So I went, and it was simple. They simply just handed me the tax record, and I said, okay. So then I composed a letter. They sent me, this is how to write the letter, right? They're like, you're a tenant there. You need to let them know and figure out how to explain to them the things that have been going on.
Okay. Again, I don't want to get into
Yeah.
it. He said, she said.
Oh, I don't do
Don't
he
wanna
said,
go.
she said. What I do
Don't
is
wanna go.
legal
Whatever.
things. So I do the law,
Mhm.
and I do photos, cameras, videos, exposés, and documentaries and TV shows. That's what I do. That's what I do for a living.
I'm just a lawyer.
Yeah, you
And
see?
I-
So
but
that's what
I'm
I do
retired
for
from
a
industrial
living.
relations.
Yeah.
Mostly I do labor and employment, although I don't. Now I just do
Well, thank you for doing
investigations
labor and
for-
employment.
Yeah, I've done civil rights stuff and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
But I'm an old lady, so
Me too.
I retired, and that was fun for a little bit, and then COVID hit, it wasn't fun anymore. So I went back to work, but I work for the Public Utilities Commission doing workplace investigations.
Nice.
Yeah, so that you can, it's part-time.
Yeah. But that's still, to me, I was raised in Oakland at the San Leandro border. Like, I've lived all around the world, I've traveled all around the world, but the way they raised us is like the Wild West. So you do what's right, you be a good citizen. There's heroes, villains, and they tried to teach me there's cowards.
Well,
But
mostly there's people who are neither heroes nor villains. There's all shades of gray.
right, just
And
complacency.
When you're a neutral investigator, what you realize is there's this story, there's that story. Neither one of them is lying, but there's different interpretations.
So
different,
that's why I do
I
as
mean,
just
sometimes it's clear.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like, you know.
So I'm not a profiler for everyone. I only do two things. I profile hackers if they're hurting old people, and stop multimillionaire pedophiles because they're hurting the world. And so I can't, with someone with hundreds of millions of dollars, or 100 million is actually the most, 17 million, 50 million, right? Whatever they had that made them think they could harm women and children and brag about it. And that no one could stop them. To me, first of all, I think that means that you're saying God doesn't run it. And secondly, I'm a member of Mensa, so I will figure out a way that they can't pay for and can't hide. So I learned very early on in my 20s not to say anything that I can't prove on camera with a document or photos, not even witness, right? I can tell if a witness, just as a neuroscientist, I can tell if a witness is using linguistics in a way that they're being manipulative, or if it's just they're telling what they think happened, right? But I also can tell when someone is trying to gaslight, right? Which to me, that means they know they're lying and they're just trying to manipulate a situation. So that's not going to help me. So footage helps. So now it's not my opinion, because certain types of people that are criminal have a set of behaviors where it worsens the more they think they get away with. So they become more obvious in who they are. So if you sit back, you let it unfold. And when you let it unfold, you no longer have to fight through the gaslighting, because the villain rips off their mask like any comic book, gives their little James Bond speech about what they get to do, and they do it. So we're at the point now where that took place on camera for 25 minutes of what they can do and who they really are and who they secretly are and what they're going to do to the house, to me, right? He stuffed the toilet with toilet paper 10 times. I took a picture every time, and what he would do is take the toilet paper. So I've been living like summer camp, or then, I'm at Festival Reprogramming Survivors for 9 weeks, where I carry toilet paper to the bathroom, because if there's toilet paper in the bathroom and I come home and the seat's down, this is what has happened. I know, because one time, twice, it took me 2 days to clear it. What he does is take toilet paper and stuff it in the hole, then do number 2 on top, then close the top. So what I know is if I see that seat down, that's what I'm in for. And then I have to undo it. And while he was living here and doing it, he would mock and make fun of it and think it's funny. Just like spitting in my food and putting garbage in my food, which is also on camera.
That's interesting.
Going in and rubbing the inside of these bins and then rubbing it in my deep freezer. Then taking trash from upstairs and spit on it and then rub it. And yeah.
Sorry. I don't really need to know this.
It's okay. It's all on camera. That's why I'm like,
I don't need to know
you
this.
see, and you know what was creepy for me? I was like, how long did I not know this? Like, because I didn't have cameras when I first came. I thought I was like in good company. I thought I was just like, oh, this is such a blessing. Oh, this is great. I'll be able to make my deadlines. And so,
Anyway,
even today, even though I'm waiting for places to say yes, so I don't have like, oh, I need this. No, I'm waiting for places to say yes. So because they continue to heighten the behavior and the attacks and the severity. Adam's not here. They came because the things that they were doing that I remarked about the cameras were caught on camera. So his mother broke one, and Adam disabled one. And then when the footage was being submitted to the DA's office and the police, they came and turned off the modem and the Wi-Fi.
Well,
So
he was paying for the Wi-Fi, and it was his Wi-Fi.
yeah, so that's
So
fine.
if he's,
So
I
so
assumed that
I
he
will
would
be
probably shut that off.
I will
whenever
be
he-
paying for Wi-Fi until I leave because the cameras need to be back on because they do still
Well,
come.
I think they're out by the end of this month. Okay, I don't know whether he has or hasn't shut off the Wi-Fi yet.
Oh, it was the DA's office got some footage,
Yeah.
and then Adam and his mother came and took the modem and shut off the Wi-Fi, as if that would keep the cameras from not working. Well, it did keep some of the cameras not working, but it didn't affect all the cameras. So even that was on camera.
So, I mean, if he turned off the Wi-Fi, well, he can. It was his Wi-Fi.
Yeah, then that's fine. And I was hoping that some of the places would say yes, so that it doesn't affect my work, and or the physical stuff like the physical attacks or the theft of my inventory, and it didn't, because me going, oh, someone else just said yes, I don't need Wi-Fi. It's like, so I need Wi-Fi, so I will be paying for Wi-Fi for my own safety, not necessarily the monetary stuff. I just been keeping a list of what it costs, because when he told them that part about his mom will make sure he doesn't get in trouble after they give him the citation paper, that's when the police said he also told them he'd been going through my room. And so just like everything, paperwork, inventory, he and his friends going shopping. And it's like, because I teach at festivals, then sometimes, I'll have a set for a class or for a workshop. And so I'll know exactly, did I have 12 of that? Did I have 50 of that? Like, what did I have of that thing? But I was going to do all of that after I left, after I moved, after I get my new place, so that as I'm packing to go, then I have it. And so I honestly don't know which one's going to say yes, but I hope they say yes tomorrow, because I'm so tired of living 9 weeks being physically tortured. And the effort was mental torture.
Do you have my address now?
I have it on the tax record, but I didn't hear back from you. So
Well, because I didn't get it. So
right, but I didn't know.
right now, I will give you my address.
Yes,
So you
that
definitely
let's
need
do
to have
both,
it.
because you
And
didn't
send
get
me
it.
whatever
You
it
didn't
is.
get it, and what I wanted was, I was like, I hope they're not in compliance with this. Like, I hope they're not.
We know nothing.
But now we've met, and so I'm like, okay. So I'm like, hold on, let me find a pen.
I have a pen right here.
Oh, even better, because I know there might not be a pen down here,
I
but
have a pen.
yeah, let me find
Here's
paper.
a piece of paper.
Yeah, that's
I have some in
easy.
the car.
You do?
Well, it's
Okay,
not
good.
something.
Then I don't have to
Have
use a piece of
scrap or
art.
something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's see what
I'm a classically trained fine artist, so I tend to have at least a piece of art we can write on the back of.